Hi, my name is Daniel Miner. I'm from Austin, Texas. I played baseball my whole life. Went division or JUCO, then Division One A&M Corpus Christi is where I actually met Rich. I think he was a graduate assistant at that time for a strength coach. So I was there in the kind of the early stages of his career and started working out with Rich a lot. I mean, he worked with our baseball team. Noticed he really knew what he was talking about. Thought great guy and everything. So I actually got drafted that year, 2012, and uh, by the Astros. Played for them for 4 years, and in my off seasons, I would go back and train with Rich because I'm sure as y'all can see, he's a very knowledgeable guy and knows how to get your body trained for a season. Um, when it comes to my relationship with God, I've always been a Christian, gone to Bible studies growing up and everything like that. Uh, Another thing with Rich, though, just outside of the whole strength and conditioning thing, was he kind of got me into my first men's group. We would go together down there before I left for season, and that was really my first time having to talk in groups with people about my relationship with God and what He's done for me, and that kind of just opened up to make it easier for me to talk to more people now. Whenever people ask me about what's going on or what happened and things like that. So back to where I played with the Astros for 4 years in their minor league system. And I go to our baseball chapels, everything we have Sunday, share here and there at maybe like faith nights and stuff like that with people. Everything was going good. Hadn't really faced adversity. My career was moving along like how you would expect it to. I was moving up each year at each level. And then finally, some adversity struck, and I was released from the Astros in 2015 after I made it back to Double A Corpus Christi, where I went to college there, so I got to play pro ball there, which was a pretty cool experience. Uh, it's just very, very bitter and stuff because I really didn't feel like I got the opportunities I deserved or I should have. But when it comes to sports, business is business. And as a young, I think I was 23 at the time, 24 at the time, didn't really ever fathom that people will just release you just because. I mean, I thought, oh, you never think it would happen to you until it actually does. And so that was my first real experience of, hey, the real world, business is business. You can no longer play for us. So from that point, I went to independent ball. I was midway through the season, so I wanted to finish up being able to play. I mean, I had nothing else to do at the time. Uh, so I went down there and didn't treat it like I should have. Had the wrong mindset. More was kind of angry with God, like what? I've done everything. I mean, I've put in the work. I've done this. Why am I? Why? What's the point of this? Like, come on, like, why are you not rewarding me? And then I started feeling sorry for myself, and then just the whole environment. It was just a whole shell shock to me at that time. So I ended up quitting baseball at that point in my career. I was 24 at the time, 25, one of those two. I think I was 24, and I ended up not playing baseball for 2 years. I went back to school at Texas State to finish up my degree. Uh, then winter of 2016, around that time, yeah, I was about to finish school the next semester. Um, and then I was dating someone at the time. I was like, and that was another thing. When it came to my baseball career done, I was like, oh, I'm set. I got my girlfriend. We're going to get married. My life's set. I have nothing to worry about. And then, of course, you think things will last. They don't last. And we ended up breaking up that around that time too. And then I realized, hey, I'm about to graduate college. So I need to figure out what I want to do. And then I just started having this itch because I was coaching youth baseball at the time. I was giving lessons to like in the 10 to 14-year-old range. And that was another thing whenever I got released, it made me hate the sport. I hated baseball. I didn't want to play it anymore. I was worn out from all the travel and everything that goes along with it. I mean, all the backside stuff that you don't really see. All you do is when you see athletes, you see them playing the sport. You don't see all the work that you have to put in, everything that goes into it. And I, like I said, I hated baseball. But then coaching youth really opened it up for me to start loving the game again. You see young kids playing, you're just like, wow, I was taking this way too serious. I was putting too much pressure on myself. I was worried about things I shouldn't be worried about when it's literally you're just playing a sport. So I kind of made the decision. I was like, I don't want to have any regrets about not being able to play. And so I prayed a lot, talked to God a lot around this time. It was a really like trying time in my life. Like I said, my girlfriend had just broken up. I'm about to graduate college. It's like, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And then I just, like I said, I had to come into a moment. I was like, I don't want to regret not playing. So then I was like, okay, I want to get back into playing. And after not playing for 2 years, it's very, very difficult to find someone that'll give you a chance. And I reached out to my agent that I had used when I was playing, and then a few other people, and nothing was really materializing. And then I realized, well, I'm not involving God in this. And then I decided, well, I'm just going to leave it up to Him. And if I'm meant to play again, someone will call me. If not, then we'll move on. And I think it was a few days later, a team ended up calling me from an independent league, the same league I had actually quit from earlier in 2015 whenever I got released and I went to independent ball. The same league called me, another team in that league, to come play for them. I was like, oh, wow, like, that's crazy. And then, of course, I went talk to God, like, hey, is this really what I need to do? And, like, I'm going to make sure, like, I want to know 100%, is this what I want to do? And this is what you want to do for my life? So me being arrogant, like, prove me, show me a sign. And, of course, one of the most amazing things happened to me. I went to church that Sunday, and I had a lady turn to me and start talking to me and just saying, like, God has great plans for you and this and that. And I was just like, okay, I will never question you again, because you just slapped me in the face with this lady right here that has no clue who I am, never seen her before in my life, and starts telling me these things. And I happened to randomly sit by this person that talked to me. And I was just like, oh, wow, like, okay, I'm going to go play. And so I got back into it and had to pay my dues, had to sit out for a little bit waiting, because I went to spring training. There's a lot of people. They didn't know how good I was going to be since I played it so long. And me, myself, I didn't even know how well I would do. And I ended up doing really well. And so they told me they wanted to keep me around. So they put me on their inactive list, and I sat there for almost a month, not really playing, but just working out, staying in shape, just being ready for whenever my name got called, still being faithful, just knowing, like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm trusting God with what, like, I'm here because of Him. And then next thing I know, I get activated, I'm pitching, I'm doing really well. And then I'm pitching on the bullpen, and I'd always been a starter my whole life. And then when I was playing with the Astros, I became a reliever some. And then I got traded from that team to another team in that same league, and I became a starting pitcher again, where I went and I was like, oh, wow, this is another great opportunity for me, because as with baseball and professionally, you want to stay as a starter as long as possible. And I was like, oh, I'm getting the chance to start again. So I made the most of that and became top 2 starter in the league for the last month of the season after I got traded there. And then went into the off season that year. I was like, I was just gonna go back and play 1 year to, just enjoy and have a good taste in my mouth about it. And then I go back, I was like, you know what, since I did so well, I'm going to go back again and play. And that was 2017 when I finished that season. So I went back this past season in 2018 and played, and I was probably the best pitcher in the league. No, I was. I mean, my numbers back it up and everything. But at the same point, it was kind of like, why I'm not getting a chance again with Philly baseball. Why is no one calling me? Why am I not getting the opportunity? And kind of just talked to God again. I was like, hey, like, I'm really like, what's happening? Why am I not getting picked up? Why am I not getting a chance? But again, I'm just going to trust you and let you do what you want to do with my life. And I kid you not, a week later, I had a team from Mexico call me, which is a big step up. It's essentially AAA baseball, which I have never played at that level. And so the team called me like 3 quarters later in my season, and I was like, oh, wow, another opportunity God has opened for me. So I went down to Mexico and I played, ended up doing really, really well. And then from that opportunity, I had a chance to go play winter baseball, which is a very, very, very competitive league. I was down in Venezuela. There's Mexico. There's Dominican Republic, which are all very, very competitive. Ex-Major League Baseball players go play there. Current Major League Baseball players go play there. They want to go play in their home country in the winter when the actual Major League season not going on. So then I got my opportunity to go down there and play. And again, I held my own, did really, really well. And now more doors are opening for me to be in contact with people. I'm actually signing with another independent league, which is the best one in America, that actually just signed a big deal with MLB to test out all these rules and stuff. So now I'm about to get ready to go play there this upcoming season. And so my biggest thing is, one, don't enjoy what you're doing. You will regret it if you don't put in the work. You don't want to look back and be like, well, what if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? Enjoy what you're doing and don't take shortcuts. You will regret it, because that's what I was starting to do when I wasn't playing for those 2 years. I was starting to regret it. And that was one of my biggest reasons I went back to play. And number two, just try, if you truly believe in God and truly believe what He is going to do for you, just trust Him. Talk to Him. Be open to. I never would imagine I would have been playing baseball in Mexico. I never would imagine I would have gone down to Venezuela and played baseball. I never would imagine I'm getting all these opportunities I'm getting now, and it's just building up to where I'm couldn't be happier playing, and I couldn't enjoy it more. I love the game. I love going to the field every day. It's really enjoyable. And I just know all this comes from trusting the Lord with my life and what I was going to do. And now that I have that process, I have no worries, and it's a really great feeling to see Him work in my life and open these doors for me that I know no one else can open. I did it partially by with my talents and skills that I've perfected over the years, and it's still perfecting. But more than anything, it's God and what He's doing in my life to be able to do this and then share my story about what's going on and how He's helped me and all these doors He's opening for me, and how I'm still getting to play. 'Cause I'm 28 now, which is a very small. I mean, the door is closing for my chances to be with an affiliated team again. But I know I keep trusting Him and keep putting in the work and don't short myself and don't take shortcuts and things like that. That I know He's doing something great with me, and I just believe that and trust it. And I'm just going to keep doing what He's doing. So I would look at your own lives and be like, when it comes to sports, and be like, hey, where can I trust God more? Where am I maybe shorting myself? Where am I not doing what I need to be doing fully to help my team or help myself get better? And more than anything, just enjoy what you're doing, because I can't. I'm 10 years removed from high school now. Like, time is flying by. But now I still get to play baseball 10 years later, and people tell me all the time, are always asking me how it's going, trying to keep up with me, asking me how I got this or why I went there. And I'm honest with them, like, well, honestly, it's God, and trusting Him and what He's doing with my life and where He's taking me. And find those spots in your life that you need to involve Him in, that will help you get to where you want to go, whether that's finishing high school and playing sports, or maybe going to college, or hopefully professionally if they have those opportunities and the sport that you want to play. But like I said, more than anything, just trust God with what you're doing in your life, and just know that He will always have your back as long as you put Him first. And I'm really grateful Rich reached out to me to be able to share some of my story. And that's my story, and that's where I'm at. I guess 7 years, 6 years later, 7 years later, after I got drafted, never would have imagined this is where I would have been, but I couldn't be happier. And I know the possibilities are endless, and He's only going to keep opening doors for me as long as I keep believing in Him and trusting Him. So thanks for your time, and I really appreciate it. And again, just trust the Lord with everything you do, because it's really amazing what He can do in your life.